Hi, this is Alex from devstories.eu. BMad Method, Episode 1 of 15. Most AI coding assistants fail on day 3 because they forget why they wrote the code on day 1. You end up with a mess of isolated scripts that do not fit together. To solve this, you do not need a better prompt. You need context engineering and the 4 phases. A common mistake is treating the BMad method as a simple code generator. It is not. It is an agile context engineering pipeline. If you just ask an AI agent to build a feature, it guesses the boundaries. BMad prevents this by progressively building and locking in context across 4 distinct phases. The agent never loses the plot because each phase feeds strict, documented rules to the next. Take the example of building a SaaS application. If you jump straight to code, the AI might choose a database that violates your data residency requirements. Context engineering stops that. The pipeline starts with the analysis phase. Here, the AI acts as a business analyst. It processes your raw ideas and produces a product requirements document. This phase locks down the core constraints. It captures user personas, compliance rules, and main workflows. The resulting document becomes the foundation for everything else. Next is the planning phase. The agent switches to a product owner role. It takes the requirements document and breaks it down into epics and user stories. Abstract requirements turn into discrete, actionable items. The context narrows. The AI is no longer thinking about the entire product, just specific deliverable units mapped to a clear timeline. This is where it gets interesting. The third phase is solutioning. The AI takes on the architect role. It looks at the user stories from the planning phase and the constraints from the analysis phase to create the technical design. It decides on data models, API endpoints, and folder structures. For your SaaS application, the business constraints defined in Phase 1 tell the architect in Phase 3 exactly what boundaries exist. This ensures the chosen architecture actually fits the original business roles. Finally, we reach the implementation phase. Now the AI assumes the developer role. The developer agent does not need to guess the architecture or wonder about the business logic. It receives the exact technical blueprint from the architect. It writes the code to fulfill a specific user story, following the precise data models and file paths defined in the previous step. This chain of context is the entire point. Information flows downstream through persistent documentation. The output of one phase becomes the strict input boundary for the next. The developer agent succeeds because the architect agent paved the road, and the architect succeeded because the business analyst mapped the territory. You are engineering the context at every level, so the AI focuses entirely on execution. The defining trait of a resilient AI workflow is not how fast it generates text, but how strictly it enforces boundaries across different stages of thought. If you want to support the show, you can search for DevStories EU on Patreon. That's all for this one. Thanks for listening, and keep building.